Hi, happy Sunday. Thank you for joining the live Q&A. My name is Wendy Witt. I'm an immigration attorney in Dallas. I help people cross borders legally so they can live their American dream. Thank you for joining today's live stream. If you have any immigration questions, please post them in the comments. If you're watching this on replay, go ahead and post your questions. And then what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll answer them during the next live stream, which will be tomorrow afternoon. I'm not sure what time yet, but I'll post that as soon as it's available. This is day 7 of the lockdown for me. I've only left the apartment 3 or 4 times just to get groceries, to check the office mail. So yeah, it's going a little stir crazy, but it looks like we're going to be in this situation a while. So I was feeling kind of frustrated, and when I get frustrated or anxious about something, what really helps me is to make lists. So checklists, to-do lists, all kinds of lists. I love lists. So probably because I was in the Air Force, we live by lists, you die by lists. I brought that into my practice, into my life, so I am crazy about lists. I made a list for you. This is 10 ways your immigration lawyer can help you during this crisis. And this applies not just to my practice, but anyone who's working with an immigration lawyer. These are all things that we can do for you. If you're one of our clients, or if you're looking to join our firm and our practice to be a client, this is how we can continue to help you. Okay, so the first one is keep you updated on how this crisis, these closures, affect your case. If you're a client of mine and you have an immediate impact on your case, I've already contacted you by either text or email, or we've talked on the phone. If you're going to have an impact down the road, this is something I'm assessing each case for, and I'll be reaching out to all of my clients personally over the next 2 weeks, whether you're impacted or not, just to let you know. So just be ready. I will be calling or texting or emailing you very soon if I haven't already. I've also been posting everything, all this news, all of these outbreaks, closures, things that impact immigration. I've been posting those to this page, and I'll continue to do so. They're also on our website at wit.law, so you can go there anytime to read the latest updates. The second thing your immigration lawyer can do for you is to be ready to move your case forward when all of these closures are resolved. So what we can do is, like, for example, many of my clients had their immigration interviews canceled because of the closures. What we're doing is I'm keeping a list. I know everybody who needs to get a reschedule, so I'll be monitoring to make sure that those reschedules all came in. If they don't, or they're skipped, I will reach out and make sure that you get your case, your interview scheduled, your fingerprints rescheduled, whatever got missed by this because you couldn't go. We're going to make sure that as soon as possible, when things are resolved, that you get in there and you get your interview, you get your fingerprints, so your case can go forward. The third thing that I'll do is I can keep responding to any government requests we receive. We're still getting RFEs, requests for additional evidence, and we're continuing to respond to those in a timely way. So if you're not working with me and you got a request for evidence in your case, do reach out, because they're not extending deadlines for these so far. You still have to respond. Many of these have very short deadlines, 80, even 30 days to respond. So if you miss a deadline to respond to a request from the government, your case will be denied outright. So don't let that happen. The fourth thing I could do is monitor your case status and put in a service request if it goes beyond normal processing times. Cases that don't require fingerprints, or if your fingerprints are already on file, or don't require an interview, those are still being processed. We're still getting approvals. So everything is still working in that regard. So for example, if we filed a petition for your spouse to join you in the U.S., just a petition is pending with USCIS. Those take, depending on the service centers, take about a year. So if your case goes beyond processing times, we can still put in a request to find out what happened and to try to get the case approved, so it can at least start moving on to the next step. The fifth thing that we can do is file for renewals and extensions. So if you have a visa that's going to expire, and you can't leave the country because, let's say, flights are shut down or your home country isn't going to allow you to cross, we can file for an extension of whatever status you have, so you can stay here legally until it's time to go. Also, for example, if you have like an H-1B and your I-94 is about to expire, we can work with your company to get that extended if you qualify. The sixth thing that we can do is we can file new applications. We can file any type of new application right now. The service centers are not closed. They're still accepting. So if you need to file citizenship, you want to file for a fiancé visa, all of this we can still do. We may only get to a certain point if your case is a type that requires a fingerprint, but at least we've got your case in there. You're ahead of the rush that's going to happen when everything is resolved, and that way your case will move forward when everything else does. Some cases that don't require interviews, like the fiancé visa, the petition bar doesn't require any interview, doesn't require any fingerprints, so we can get those filed and we can get those approved while everything else is shut down. The seventh thing that we can do is assess your case to see if there are any benefits to this situation for you. The news is not all bad. There are some clients who are going to get some types of benefits because of what's going on. We may be able to get you a longer stay. We may be able to get you out of detention if you're being detained. Some cases we've been able to put an expedite request because that person is personally affected by the virus or someone else in their family, and we can prove that they've got a hardship and get their case approved earlier, and we've been doing that. The eighth thing we can do is to look down the road for you and prepare for the next step. So let's say you're a client of mine and we've got your green card. Well, we can look down the road and see when you're going to be able to qualify for citizenship. What can we do to start preparing early? Is there any benefit in starting your case earlier than we plan to just because you're at home and we've got time to work on it? We're doing that for a lot of people who are working from home. They've got time to sit down with us by video and talk about the next few years and what their goals are for immigration, whether that's their own citizenship, adding employees, getting other family members here, bringing their mom and dad. All of these things we can start to plan out and we can actually work on them now. The ninth thing that immigration attorney can do for you is to help connect you with other resources. Let's say you have a small business and this is impacting your business, what's going on, or we can help you identify the business loans that are out there, can help you set you up appointments with other types of attorneys that might be able to help you. A lot of people are seeing child custody problems. I can refer you to colleagues of mine who handle that and make sure that you're getting all of your needs taken care of. And the 10th thing we can still do is we can sue the government if there's been unreasonable delays in your case. We see this mostly with consular processing cases, where the government just tells you that you're in administrative processing and then they sit on it. The federal courts are still open for business and we can still file lawsuits to get that case moved forward. So if you're a client of ours, this is just 10 things that I thought of this morning. There are more things. If you are having any problems and you're working with us and you need help in any way, call me, email me, let me know. I will do whatever I can to help you. I do not want to see anyone suffer. I want us all to come through this and be better off than we were before we started. So whatever you need, call me and let me know. I will try to find a way. If I can't get it to you personally, I'll find someone who can. We'll work through it together. We'll think of solutions. So I did see a question that came through. Let me see if I can find it here. Okay. Okay, so I have a question that was texted to me earlier, and this came from Amir, and Amir asked, he has an I-730. It's a refugee petition that is pending for his wife and kids. His asylum case is approved, so he sponsored them. He got approvals of his petition, and his case has been sitting at the embassy for them for over 3 years, and he wants to know what he can do. There are several things that he can do, and not all of them usually work. The first thing that you can do if you have a case for your family and it's stuck in administrative processing at the consulate is that you can call your senator and ask them for help. In the past, many of them used to be a lot more helpful in getting these cases moved forward. That doesn't always seem to work anymore, but I still recommend that you do that. First, call your senator. Explain to them the situation, what's going on, how your family's suffering from it, and see if they can do anything for you. The second thing that you can do is you can email the IOM, that's the agency that's responded for processing these cases, to ask for updates. Usually you don't get much back, but at least if you're emailing them every month, you're proving that you're still interested in this case. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is my kitty cat. This is Romeo. He's saying hello. Sorry about that interruption. Now, the third thing that you can do if you have a case that's stuck in administrative processing is that you can hire a lawyer and we can sue the government. We call these types of cases mandamus lawsuits. That's just a legal word for a case that we filed against government agents. When it comes to suing the consulates, we sue everybody. We sue the Department of State, we sue USCIS, we name consular officers if we know them. If we don't, we just sue them by their title. We get everybody involved. Then once we filed a lawsuit, the government has typically 60 days to respond. That means they have to come back and file something in court to explain what their take is on it. So often, because they don't want to go to that, they don't want to go for a lawsuit, they don't want to work with all their lawyers, they don't want to get everybody involved, often they will just make a decision, and we get that, and then the case is closed. Sometimes they will fight us back, and then we have to be prepared to file motions and to go for hearings before the judge to actually get a decision. One thing we can't get for mandamus, we can't get the court to order them to approve a case. That's not possible with mandamus. All we can get is the court to order them to make a decision. And usually when we do these cases, that's because that's what you really want. You want to know, you want to get a decision. You understand that there may be risk, that your case might not be approved, but you can't live in limbo anymore. So you want to know the truth. You want to know what their take on it is so you can make other plans. Mandamus lawsuits, these usually take 4 to 8 months, sometimes longer if the government fights back. So it's not a way to get a quick, immediate decision in a case. You need to be prepared for it to take time. There will also be expenses involved. You'll have attorney fees. You'll have government legal fees. That's about $400 to file the case, and you're probably looking at another $100 to $200 for service expenses, maybe more, and then the lawyer fees, which will always depend on the complexity of the case. So it's not something that I would just rush out and do. Let's say you just found out that your case is in administrative processing. I wouldn't go and file a mandamus the exact next day. But if you've been waiting 2-3 years, that it's time. It's really time to consider it. So that's the only question that I have. Please continue to put your questions in the comments. I'm going to be doing this again tomorrow afternoon. Any questions that I missed, I will go and I will answer them tomorrow. And thank you so much for joining me. Please take care and stay safe. Have a great afternoon. Goodbye.